Am I the a-hole for not going home with my husband after my sister kicked him out of her wedding? My F26, sister F24, got engaged to her husband, M36, a few months ago. He's from out of town, and he's well off. Rich. He has several properties and drives a Dodge. He's very generous and respectful. He treats the family with so much respect. One thing I noticed was my husband constantly making comments about him and how he ended up with our family since he's well off. I took this as an offense and brought up the age gap between my sister and her fiance in front of my parents and asked my parents if they were okay with it. I got mad at him for behaving like this and resenting my brother-in-law for no reason. Their wedding was 2 days ago. My sister was so excited and nervous. She's never experienced this before and was stressing about what might go wrong. When we got our invitation, my husband threw a fit that his family didn't get an invitation and how we were treating them like second-class citizens compared to the groom's family who paid for the wedding, and that my parents already started playing favorites and treating their new son-in-law like he was a big deal in his words. We fixed this issue and it was a misunderstanding. My husband's parents ended up apologizing for not being able to attend, but sister-in-law came. At the wedding, my husband was sitting with some family members making comments about the groom's suit and his bad taste and how he could have done better. I told him to knock it off as the others gave us looks. Later, my family was gathered before dinner. Most of the guests were with the groom while my sister was talking to her husband's family nearby. My husband started talking again, making comments about the cars the groom's family came with. He was telling this to my mom. I told him to stop it. He lashed out at me and said that he was sorry he was the only one, not ignoring the fact that my sister was marrying him for his money. I was stunned. I knew people heard that because everyone was quiet after this. A few seconds of awkwardness and my dad invited everyone to have dinner. My sister came to us and started berating my husband, saying what he said was awful and inappropriate and that her in-laws heard his awful comment and ended up telling him to leave. He argued with her and wanted me to leave with him, but I refused and said I wanted to stay with my parents after the awful things he said. I was so mad. I told him to leave before I start yelling at him. I went to stay with my parents for 2 days now, and he's so upset that I refused to return home with him and tried to apologize and asked if he could tell my family he was sorry. I haven't replied and I'm still so mad. My sister isn't talking to me, telling me my husband ruined her day, even though I told him to stop. I want to apologize to her, but I don't want to pressure her.